Good, bright and beautiful Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic. And this is the daily video forecast discussion. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. This is the daily video forecast discussion for this beautiful Thursday, the 7th of May, 2020. Still with allergies. Took a beautiful bike ride through the upper echelons of Montclair this morning, and the wind was right on my face. Felt so refreshing to be out there early this morning. And we'll start out with the 24-hour precipitation totals here from New Jersey, Cocoa across northeastern New Jersey, northern New Jersey, actually about maybe a tenth of an inch in spots, maybe 29 hundredths of an inch in spots here across the portions of Hudson County here. Central New Jersey fared about the same, about a tenth of an inch of rain, maybe a little bit higher here in some spots yesterday. Southern New Jersey, same story. The rain was very light yesterday, despite the fact that it was cloudy and raw outside. And waking yourself out of bed this morning, it's chilly. Temperatures right now are generally running in the upper 40s to low 50s, which is unseasonably cold at 9 o'clock this morning. And of course, under some of those clear skies, temperatures got back down into the 30s again across this area here in northwestern New Jersey. And again, this area is going to be monitored on Friday night and Saturday morning, maybe even for some wet snowflakes at the higher elevations. We'll get into that in a moment. Our minimums this morning were basically running in the low 40s statewide. And let's see, wind chill's probably not working this morning. There is a wind out there. The wind chill chart isn't working here. We'll get into that. Anyway, our wind speeds this morning are all out of the west-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And there's a little bit of a gust out there this morning as well. 10, maybe 15, a little bit higher than that. So it does make it feel a little bit chilly outside. Of course, it's just an absolutely gorgeous morning, absolutely clear skies, just a few cumulus clouds here and there. All the sky cover with compression today is mostly sunny. It's going to get up to around 60, which is still about 10, 12 degrees below where it should be for this time of the year. But the sunshine in May is very strong. So yes, I'll be outside later suntanning with a lighter wind and sunshine skies. As long as you're not moving around and you're sitting directly under the sun, yes, May sun is just about as equivalent to that of early September. So definitely get a sunburn or a suntan if you've got nothing better to do today. Of course, I already took my bike ride, and we'll take another one a little bit later. National Surface Chart from weatheroanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows that storm system that merged with the upper trough yesterday and the surface wave over the Virginias now well out into the Atlantic with their secondary cold front. But here comes another cold front here. That's going to be introducing cold, much colder air into the area by the time we get into tomorrow night and Saturday, and there could be some wet snowflakes in the air. Meanwhile, ahead of this warm front and occlusion here in the Colorado Rockies here with this storm system, we have some light rain, moderate rain, and of course the temperatures, we'll get into that in a moment. Meanwhile, we have high pressure ridging in from the south over the forecast region for today in between this and this and this. Yeah, got a cold weekend coming up. And of course, this morning, tonight, and tomorrow morning, we have the full flower moon, which is the third moon that has been full in the last 2 months. So we've got the flower moon this morning, and that's raising the tidal levels here along the coast. So we have some small craft advisories and some gale warnings here out over the coastal waters from 20 nautical miles, and then from 20 nautical miles out into the open ocean here. We have some gale warnings. We have some flood advisories again for the North Shore, South Shore of Long Island, and portions of New York, and this would be for high tide cycles around the tide of the moon. So 1 foot or so of inundation probably would cause some low levels to flood over. Meanwhile, we have the hazardous weather outlook, and if we took a look at that, it's probably going to tell us the following: that there is going to be temperatures dropping below freezing tomorrow night and Saturday, and the winds will approach advisory criteria on Saturday as that storm system that we're going to talk about gets could produce some power outages and some tree damage as well. We talked about this yesterday, so we'll get into that in just a moment. Low-level water vapor. Here comes all the dry, sinking air in place for today. Here's our next disturbance here, and another cold front here. And it's going to produce very cold air over the area. We have some upper-level divergence and diffluence here going on with this upper level low here over Wyoming, or Montana actually, spreading a swath of some light rain and some convection here breaking out across the Central Plains this morning. We'll get into that. Meanwhile, a little bit of energy here in Southern California, so maybe a little bit cooler here today with this cloud cover, but probably not that much. You know, maybe 5-10 degrees from where it was yesterday. And of course, nothing's changed in the Baja or the Southwest or Texas or Florida, where the air is very dry and it is going to get hot under this domain. If we looked at the visible satellite coming up this morning, obviously it's not really going to show up too far in the western United States because it's still early in the morning there. But we can already, well, it's starting to show up, but it's not showing up too well. We can already see the bands of convection here. Once again, we can already see the bands of convection with the cumulus cloud buildups here billowing, and this is early in the morning here. It's about 7 a.m. right now across the northern and central plains, so it's going to be a pretty active day across this region here. Everything here in the eastern United States, quiet. That's the way we like it. National weather hazards here across the Ohio River Valley into, well, portions of the southern Appalachians here. We're going to have some freeze watches going into effect tonight and tomorrow morning. Some freeze warnings here across portions of Kentucky and also portions of Ohio and western Virginia here. So this is all going to take place. And that extends up into Illinois and Indiana, portions of that. And then we have, again, some freeze warnings here in the upper Midwest. Red flag warnings here in New Mexico and Colorado, and also red flag warnings or excessive heat warnings here in southern Arizona into portions of California, and some high wind warnings as well in the southwestern areas near San Diego, San Francisco, such as that. So, you know, this is going to expand further tomorrow, later today and tomorrow night across this area here. The freeze probabilities are going to increase. The National Weather Service will be putting out some watches and warnings for this, I'm sure, coming up. Real-time temperatures, 8 o'clock this morning nationally on the eastern coast. Temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s here in southern Florida. Temperatures already in the 60s across Texas and 70s in Mexico, here in the Baja, again into Southern California, where it's been cold. It's going to continue to be cold across Hudson's Bay, Canada, central and southern Canada as well, and in intermountain regions here in the Northwest. 24-hour temperature change looks like this. It's colder here in the Idaho and western United States, here into Nevada and portions of Idaho here and Nevada. And it's been cooler as a result of some of that cooler air that spilled down here through the northern mid-Atlantic during the last 24 hours. So it's a little bit cooler here in Florida, but still it's going to be a warm day coming up. Let's take a look at the wind chills. That's what it feels like right now. It feels like it's in the 40s and low to mid 40s here across the northern mid-Atlantic, which is our area. A little cooler here where the precipitation starting out, and some frost and freeze warnings are now in effect in this region for tonight and tomorrow morning. And like I said, they're going to probably expand them here. Our local offices here in New York and Philly will actually get together on that as the forecasters work on that during this morning and this afternoon. Hasn't been too much precipitation here at all in northern New Jersey and the northern New England area. A swath of rain with our system that passed off the coast last night. Again, most of the amounts were generally less than 1/2 of an inch to an inch at best. The only areas that received appreciable rain, and this was in thunderstorms with the old frontal boundary here, were portions of Louisiana's Gulf Coast area and the coastal line here in Texas, around just north of Houston into the bayou here of the Louisiana coastline, and portions of northeastern Mexico as well, and portions of the Intermountain West, the Cascades, and also Washington and Oregon's coastlines here. Regional forecasted high temperatures today in the upper 50s to low and mid 60s here in the New Jersey, New York City metro area, down into the mid 60s and 70s, and lower 80s in Florida. So this is cooler than it's had been, but only by several degrees. It's still, you know, you're dealing with the May sunshine here in Florida, so this feels like it's going to be in the 80s, even though the temperatures are in the 70s. And look where all the heat is. Now, again, this is not showing up in Mexico. I don't know why they're not continuously doing this. You can see the temperatures here in Southern California, the Baja. This is all in the low to mid 100s here. And in portions of New Mexico and Arizona, portions of western Texas and southern Texas, these temperatures extend into a large portion here of Mexico. It's going to be a real treat to look into how much snow actually accumulates at the higher elevations, 1,000 feet and up here through the Poconos. Now, I know that the model guidance is showing some snow here in northern New Jersey, European model guidance, all the guidance is showing that. But the last time snow really reached the ground and accumulated this late in the season would be on May 9th in 1977, where New York City actually saw snow in the air. It wasn't really much on the ground, I don't think. You'd have to go, again, 1,000 feet up in the atmosphere to really have any kind of appreciable accumulating snow. We're talking like an inch or so. And we'll get into the dynamics of this in just a moment. Not a lot of snow. And if you thought the pollen was high over the last couple of days, and you know what I mean, if you are an allergy sufferer, we are in the medium to high side. Again, 9.4 today, oak, birch, maple, you name it. Medium to high, and it's going to be medium to high again during tomorrow. If we looked at the pollen forecast for the next 5 days, I wouldn't suspect too much change here. Today is 9.4, so and by Sunday, look, things cool down a little bit on Saturday. The air mass is breezy, but by Sunday and Monday, we're back into the high side, so everything is really just coming out. So you really need to take your allergy medication. And there are a lot of people asking about the water here in our water reservoirs in the northeastern storage regions of northern New Jersey. We are at 100% now. We were slowly climbing from 90%, but we're nowhere in the deficits that we were at 75 or 80% since last September. So we have definitely climbed back to normal. So there's no problems in any of the watersheds here across New Jersey. And if we go down into the Newark reservoirs, we are at 100% right now. In fact, we're even over 100% in spots. So there's no water shortages here. There's no drought going on in our reservoirs here in the northeast New Jersey region. From our web pages here for the Mid-Atlantic region, the New Jersey aerial precipitation departure maps provided to us from the Mid-Atlantic River Forecast Center from the first of the year through about the 5th, I think this is, 2020 of May. In northern New Jersey, we're about 11 to 25% below. But, if you start to really look at this now, you're going to see that, we're not really that far below. And if you looked at the 30-day mean, we're actually running above normal in many places. So, when you average all of this out over 60 days or 90 days, we're near normal. Just about all of the charts here. Nothing looks outstanding to me. In fact, if you look at the last year, we're actually higher in spots in northeastern New Jersey, western New Jersey, and central and southern New Jersey, and everywhere else is normal to slightly above normal. No drought here. Start out with the model guidance from the NAM, the convective overview for the next 60 hours or so. And this is impressive to me because we have a northwest flow now, but by the time we get into this afternoon, we find that cold front approaching with some on Friday morning, late tonight, tomorrow morning. There could be a little line of showers here that passes through northern New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley into Connecticut, upstate New York. That waxes and wanes, but here's the next batch of precipitation with that storm system that is going to be approaching and then passing off the East Coast. So we could get some moderate to heavy rain around here on Friday morning into Friday afternoon before the storm system pulls off the coast. And the winds are southwest, but notice how they're at 50, 55, 60 miles an hour, then they veer to the west and northwest, and they're increasing. So we know the winds are going to be very strong by the time we get to Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. And this is where the National Weather Service believes that there could be some power outages because of downed trees and power lines and things of this nature. When I'm looking at this at 3 kilometers, this is at the surface. So if I'm seeing winds at 50, 60 knots here out of the west, yeah, there could be some tree and power line damage here. And of course, downwind Buffalo into portions of Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Detroit here. This looks convective because it could be snow. Actually, these are snow flurries, but this is the convective outlook, but it shows you where the line is going to be drawn. And it looks like by Saturday afternoon, All of this will remain to the west of us, but in the hills of the Poconos here into central and northwestern Buffalo here in New York State, this is where snow flurries and snow showers or snow squalls, these actually look like snow squalls to me, could be coming off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario here, so we'll be monitoring that as well. And as the storm system and cold front move off the east coast on Friday night and Saturday morning, notice how the NAM model guidance wants to change some of the precipitation again back over to snow. Across northwestern New Jersey, the Poconos, where 1 inch or so is possible. Again, I caution you, this is going to have to take a lot of dynamics in the atmosphere, and it's probably going to have to be over 1,000 feet. That doesn't mean that you won't see snowflakes in the air Friday night and Saturday morning across northwestern New Jersey, but after that, it looks like it's just going to be, some snow showers around the region. So we're not looking at heavy accumulating snow, but there could be flurries in the air here. It could transition from rain to snow in these regions. And the highest elevations, again, 1,000 feet and higher in northwestern New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley, and the Poconos here could reach, maybe a half of an inch or so of snowfall under this domain. And under high pressure building in on a northwest flow today, things should calm down in the wind department, but they're going to ramp up again by the time we get into Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, as the winds turn to the west and northwest as the storm system pulls off of the southern New Jersey and mid-Atlantic coast states at a 998 and then deepens rapidly off of southern New England's coast. So these winds by Saturday morning out of the west-northwest are going to start cranking at speeds about 40, 50 miles per hour. And that's going to lead to the problem of some downed trees and power lines, and we're going to be watching the power outages here throughout the day as well. Again, looking at the snow depth through Saturday afternoon, you can see only the highest elevations here in northern New Jersey and the Poconos and the Hudson River Valley area here receiving any appreciable snow that's on the ground. But remember, the last time it actually snowed or flurried in this area that we can recall this late in the season, whether it was in the air or on the ground, accumulating, was, I think, May 9th of 1977. Climate Prediction Center's forecast from yesterday, of course, is early on Thursday, so it's not updated yet. In the 6 to 10 day period, it's modified just slightly now from the 5th or the 12th of Tuesday through Saturday the 16th. All the cold air was further down here, but now it's over northern New England. They're always making adjustments to these things. 8 to 14 day, 8 to 14, let's show up. And again, it's slicing through near normal here and above normal in the southwest where it should be. Again, not looking at a lot of precipitation here. In fact, normal to dry conditions basically for our area, our neck of the woods. And 8 to 14, this doesn't look too impressive to me either. And the National Weather Service's blend over the next 10 days here. It's quite warm where it was. Don't see any big changes here. Focus on the northeast here as the cold air comes in on Friday night and Saturday, especially on Saturday. Sunday it's cold, it's chilly, it's trying to warm up a little bit back, but it's cold, back building cold across the northern plains with other cold fronts and the northeast as well. And that extends into Tuesday, May 12th. And it warms up a little bit ahead of the next frontal wave. But look at all the heat in the south. That's where we should be. But we're not. We're stuck here under COVID-19. Temperatures finally warm up again by the middle of the month here, back to normal, upper 60s and low and mid 70s across the northeastern United States. And that trend continues on Saturday the 16th as well. So things are going to come around, but it's going to take several days, at least a week or so, to come around. And from New York to Philly, today's temperatures low to mid 60s across the region. That looks good. Tomorrow, that changes. Cold fronts nearing, storm system moving off the coast, back into the 50s and lower 60s, and really chilly on Saturday. Look at this. These are high temperatures for Saturday forecasted by the model guidance right now. Upper 30s and mid 40s to around 50. Ugh, you're not going to want to be outside on Saturday, I can tell you that. Temperatures upper 50s to low and mid 60s again on Sunday. Monday, it's about the same. Tuesday, about upper 50s to low 60s. Again, these are all below normal for this time of the year. Low and mid 60s, upper 60s on Thursday. Finally, things turn around. Mid 60s, low and mid 70s next Friday. And next Saturday looks delicious. Upper a low in mid-70s across the forecast region. So you see it's going to take at least another 7 days or so in this forecast regime to raise the temperatures up, despite the warm May sunshine. So whether you're walking or biking, get outside today. Do something. Get outside. Don't stay inside because we've got beautiful weather. Yes, we do. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Have a great Thursday out there. We'll see you bright and early. Get out there and enjoy this Thursday. We'll see you bright and early again on Friday morning.